I'm pretty sure I just insulted all of these artists by trying to replicate their styles. Oh well. Hey everybody, this is Grimmy, and today's speed paint is going to be an art style challenge. Woo! I haven't done one since my 100 subscriber special, which is crazy because that was only about 2 years ago. Anyway, I'm doing one today and I'll be trying to replicate 5 YouTubers' art styles. I follow all of them and I really like their styles for different reasons, which is why I wanted to do this. I'll be using Weirdo because he's my favourite OC to draw. In no particular order, let's get started. I love Twisted Disaster's videos. They are a lot of fun and her voice is really soothing to me, which, if you don't know, the first thing I notice about someone is what their voice sounds like. Probably weird, maybe just me, but it's just the way it is. Anyway, I really like her art style. It's really neat and clean, and the way she shades adds a lot of depth to her illustrations. It also adds a lot of detail, and if you've seen my art, you know I'm not big on huge amount of details, mainly because I'm lazy. And also, I can't add detail without making a monstrosity. Point is, I really struggled with the shading. I looked at some videos to see how she actually shades her drawings, but the more I watched, the more I realised it'd be less painful for me to just wing it. So that's basically what this video is. Twisted Disaster's art style is generally really soft and round looking, which Weirdo isn't, but I think that he looks really cute in her style.
When you want to get off that darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky.
I found out about Ownips during the Dream Daddy controversy. Now, I don't like Dream Daddy, but I loved her art style. Once I checked through her Twitter, I saw she had a series called Off Cells, and I thought it was a really interesting concept. I actually have chapter 1 of her series as a book. Her art style is a cartoonish, semi-realism type, or at least that's how I would describe it. It's very expressive and isn't overly detailed with the line art, which fits my style more. Still, I struggled with the semi-realism part of Ownips' style since I have a very cartoonish style. At the moment anyway. Not to mention her shading also heavily tripped me up. But I had fun making this all the same. Ownips' content is not what I'm usually interested in, but her art style really drew me in and I became interested in her stories along the way. So yeah, the art style was a lot of fun to draw and I think Weirdo looks pretty darn cool in it. Creepshow doesn't really draw guys all that much, or at least I couldn't find any on her Instagram, so I had to draw Weirdo based off how she draws women. Weirdo has long eyelashes anyway, so his eyes weren't too hard to fit Creepshow's art style. However, one thing I had to sort of compromise is Weirdo's facial expression. He usually has a big toothy smile, but Creepshow doesn't really draw wide sharp toothed smiles all that much, but draws beautiful luscious lips, which I do love. I made a compromise and made Weirdo have a smaller smile that fits Creepshow's art more. Shading was pretty minimal, which I'm not complaining about, so I had fun with that. Again, I really enjoy Creepshow art's content and always get enthusiastic when I get a notification that she posted a new video. I have a very soft spot for LavenderTown. I've been subscribed to her for a long while, and it was during a time I started taking art more seriously. Her educational videos were incredibly useful to me, and all her different video series inspired me to make my own videos and characters. Her style is adorable, and I had so much fun drawing Weirdo. LavenderTown often has her characters' pupils be in unusual shapes that express their feelings. Weirdo doesn't have any pupils, so I just put some crosses in his eyes, which could mean anything really. Maybe a scar, as if his pupils were carved out, or a sign that he's a messed up character and not to approach him. There's no meaning really, it's just aesthetically pleasing. LavenderTown shades in different ways, but usually uses a warmish colour, as far as I could tell from her online account. I can't remember when I became a subscriber, but I think I first saw her work in 2012. Maybe, something like that. I've been following her stuff for a long time, and at first, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't sure about her art style. Mainly because it was very different to what I was used to, and it just kind of slapped me in the face with how colourful it was. But after watching some of her animations and speed paints, her style grew on me, and now I really like it. I've been following Has-Been Hostel's development casually, and now that the pilot came out, I'm so incredibly happy. I know people have issues with it for different reasons, and that's fair, but I loved it. Especially Alistair, but that's no surprise. Talking about Alistair, I first saw him in an early speed paint Vivzy made of her demon characters, and even though he was only in the background, I already loved him. I also realised when I was watching the pilot that Alistair and Weirdo are pretty similar. Sharp teeth, confident, constantly smiling, enthusiastic, cannibal, serial killer. Maybe not the best things to have in common, but here we are. Vivzy's art style is a lot of fun to replicate. I wouldn't say it's anything like my art style, but I was actually really comfortable drawing Weirdo in her manner. I of course used Alistair as one of my main references, but that's to be expected. This was a fun video to make, especially since I love drawing in other people's art styles, even if it kills my hands at times. I think I did pretty well, all things considered, but there's definitely things I could have done better to properly replicate the artist's styles. Not that I want to copy their art styles, because I'd like to branch out my own style rather than become a rip-off of somebody else. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Bye bye!